Good morning and welcome back. It is 5:15. Yesterday I had the privilege to go to Cherokee County, somewhere we don't get to go as often because it is a little bit of a drive. But I tell you what, Miss Harrison's fourth graders were awesome. Got to talk about different things, climate, the weather, and the earth and moon. And here's the fifth graders. Got to speak with them as well. So thank you, Miss Harrison, for having me out. Of course, that drive over to Cherokee County, absolutely beautiful. And in the next 2 weeks, it's really going to be nice when the fall foliage starts to pop a little bit more. Here's a look at our temperatures. So as you step outside, you are certainly going to notice the difference. 55 Murphy, 58 in Athens, 51 in Altamont. Highs today only going to be in the 70s. And if you ask me, that's just about perfect. We will have some building cloud cover and the chance for a few sprinkles, but most of us are going to stay nice and dry. Temperature is going to be in the 70s through about Sunday. Now it is going to warm back up, at least during the afternoon hours as we head into next week, back to the 80s. But those overnight lows, especially this weekend, going to be on the cooler side in the low 50s here in the valley, upper 50s by the time we get into next week. So we're still going to have those cool mornings all the way through next week, and it's going to be downright chilly for some of our mountain communities heading into the weekend. Many of these days we're going to be waking up to the 40s, especially in places like Murphy, down into Blue Ridge, along the Blue Ridge Mountains, and back into western North Carolina. So chilly air going to start to settle in, and as we continue to push further into October, the leaves are really going to start to transition over the next couple of weeks, and it usually just happens like that. So not seeing a ton of color just yet, but over the next couple of weeks, especially into western North Carolina, we'll get into the peak colors, and then eventually here in the valley the last week of October and the first week in November. That's typically when we see our peak. But as you take a look at your futurecast, again, there is a slim chance of a few sprinkles in North Georgia, I would say, but there's not going to be a lot of moisture. Again, the air is going to still be pretty dry, but we have a weak little disturbance trying to move back in from the south, so I can't rule out a few sprinkles here and there. By the time we get into Friday, going to be a nice day, a little bit of cloud cover early with some sunshine late, and really the only interesting thing that's going to happen here across the southeast over the next couple of days is a coastal low that's going to develop and likely turn into a nor'easter, but this is only going to impact the east coast. For us, we're going to stay nice and dry with plenty of sunshine through the weekend. And here's a look at your rainfall amounts over the next 7 days or so. Pretty much nothing. So even if we get a few sprinkles in North Georgia, it's not going to really amount to much. And the overall pattern trend still favoring dry conditions, again, which is typical for this time of the year, but I wouldn't expect too much in the way of rain over the next 6 to 10 days. The latest drought monitor will be released a little bit later this morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if these abnormally dry conditions start to expand a little further northbound, and that's kind of going to be the trend over the next couple of weeks with this dry air really settling in. But here's a look at 7-day forecast. Great weather through this weekend. Next week, we have more sunshine on deck. It will start to warm up a little bit. We'll be back in the 80s, but all in all, going to be really nice for some outdoor activities. And like I mentioned earlier, I drove over to Cherokee County, and you know, through the Ocoee. It's very nice. Have you had the chance yet?
I have not. I have to make my way over there.
Okay.